Top 10 Fantasy Magic Anime with an overpowered main character. Whether you are a fan of Overpowered or not, the fantasy genre is an awesome one to divide into since it allows for much creativity and innovation. Be it in some fantasy world or a completely different universe, being transported to another world has always intrigued anime lovers. While the theme of the isekai anime has been explored countless times, the protagonists in these shows are usually overpowered. Whether it's due to magic or a divine blessing, they tend to be too strong and this can make things less interesting. To find out the best anime with overpowered characters but still make you feel excited and entertained, in this list, we'll be looking at 10 anime that have great MCs who can fight like boss and don't get beat up every episode. So if you are in need of some eye candy while indulging in some awesome battles, here are our recommendations to satisfy your buds. 10. Redo of Healer. Ɪṛ劣ᴜ is a healer, a magic user that can heal almost any wound and diseases. He has always been unappreciated by his allies, mostly because he's not a fighter. But even after he is captured by the enemy and tortured for over a year, he only wishes to live in peace and be free from the war. But then he discovers the extent of his powers and decides to go back in time to find out why the war started in the first place and do everything he can to prevent it. But I'm sorry to say that this anime is not quite as epic as the description makes it sound. The story basically revolves around the ɪṛ劣ᴜ getting back at every single person who did him wrong. I will admit it though, I did enjoy watching this anime at times. The action was great, the animation was beautiful, and there were some funny moments. But I couldn't help but feel like most of it was just for shock value of fan service or something. Okay, at number 9 we have the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. When a great assassin is reborn in another world, he finds himself the heir to a long line of killers from the shadows. With both his modern-day knowledge and experience and the special magic and techniques of this new world, he could very well become the most unstoppable assassin in history. It's fine. The characters are engaging, the story is interesting. It had me rooting for the protagonist and his team. I also quite like the more mature tone, though I think the end is incredibly rushed. Number 8. A certain scientific accelerator. Isn't Accelerator the main reason to watch this masterpiece? After rescuing Last Order and subsequently taking a bullet to the head, Academy City's top rank Esper rests in the hospital. But Accelerator's recovery is cut short when a mysterious girl carrying a photo of his little clone companion asks for help. Now they are taking on disciplinary action, an anti-evil coalition whose sinister plans threaten Last Order, Academy City, and even the entire world. Overall, I give it a 10 out of 10. Give this a try. 7. ɪṛ劣ᴜ, from commonplace to world's strongest. Hajime Nagumo and his high school class are suddenly summoned to a fantastical land as heroes. But while most of his classmates have powerful stats and abilities, Hajime does not. Underappreciated and unprepared, he tumbles into the depths of a monster-infested dungeon where voracity and sacrifice are only his options. To thrive in this savage world, he will have no choice but to welcome the abyss. Overall, it's a great anime to watch. Moving on to our number 6. Problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? 3 high schoolers, Izayo Sakamaki, Masato Akado, and Kaori Kanzaki, have been transported to the Little Garden. They are gifted with special powers there, although Izayo's power is something even the inhabitants of this world have never seen before. Izayo is the kind of guy who marches to the beat of his own drum. He has always been that way, so it isn't too surprising, but he was once bored of it. That being said, this character trait influences the events that unfold in Little Garden, and I'm glad it does, because otherwise, I don't think there would be much interest in this character. It's hard to say how much of a good or bad character he is, because as things progress, we are introduced to more elements within the story which have an effect on other characters. He is aware that he is ridiculously overpowered and doesn't hesitate to show off in front of others. Moving on to our number 5. How not to summon a demon lord. Takuma Sakamoto is a Sut-in whose unapparalleled excellence in his favorite MMORPG, Cross Reverie, has earned him the nickname Demon Lord Diablo. One day, he is summoned to another world, but with the appearance of a demon lord. The two beautiful girls who summoned him are actually slave demons and want to take custody of his enslaved soul. It's going to be tough making friends in this world, and even tougher fighting against the current demon lord. So far, my favorite anime characters has some good humor, romance, and interesting characters. 4. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. Anos Voldegord was a tyrannical demon king that eradicated humans, spirits, and even the gods, but became bored of eternal warfare and reincarnated with dreams of a peaceful world. What awaited him in reincarnation after 2000 years were descendants, who became too weak after being accustomed to peace, and all sorts of magic that deteriorated to the extreme. Anos enters Demon King Academy that gathers and educates those who are viewed as a reincarnation of the Demon King. But the academy could not see through his true powers and ends up branding him as a misfit. Moving on to our number 3. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. When a 34-year-old underachiever gets run over by a bus, his story doesn't end there. Reincarnated in the new world as an infant, Rudy will seize every opportunity to live the life he's always wanted. Armed with new friends, some freshly acquired magical abilities, and the courage to do the things he's always dreamed of, he is embarking on an epic adventure with all of his past experience intact. Moving on to our number 2, The Rising of the Shield Hero. So far, this anime is fantastic. The story starts off with a bit chaotic, but in a good kind of a way. Naofumi Iwatani, an uncharismatic otaku who spends his day on games and manga, suddenly finds himself summoned to a parallel universe. He discovers he's one of 4 heroes equipped with legendary weapons and talks with saving the world from its propitiate destruction. As the shield hero, the weakest of the heroes, all is not as it seems. Naofumi is soon alone, penniless, and betrayed, with no one to turn to and nowhere to run. He is left only with his shield. Now Fumi must rise to become the legendary shield hero and save the world. I hope this story remains interesting going further, but I definitely recommend this one. And finally, our number 1, The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Lonely 37-year-old Satoru Mikami is stuck in a dead-end job, unhappy with his mundane life, but after dying at the hands of a robber, he awakens to a fresh start in a fantasy realm as a slime monster. As he acclimates to his goopy new existence, his exploits with the other monsters set off a chain of events that will change his new world forever. In my opinion, this anime is hands down my favorite so far, and I try to give it a whole 5-star. At first, I was thinking to myself, this is about a slime being weird all the time. I'll stop watching it, and that is what is the mostly, but I got to episode 2 and I got hooked, and I still kept watching it over and over again while waiting for the next episode to come out. So I would say it's an amazing anime. So that's all for today, people. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, then give this video a like, share it with your friends and family, and also subscribe for more top 10. Stay safe, take care, see ya next time.